We're being videotaped, too. Tonight's act is divided into two parts. The first part is Circus Medley, and the second part is Random Cabaret. Music is supposed to come on, and maybe I got something messed up. This is the first act is Circus Medley, and it begins with an excerpt from Thomas Wolfe's short story, Circus at Dawn. There were times
during late spring, after the long, overcast winter skies had finally broken up into a brilliant blue, when the greater circuses would come to town. Ringling Brothers, Robinson, the Barnum and Bailey Show.
The Barnum and Bailey Shows. Come by sidewalk, sir, your sedan, and step a little closer. No need to alert your eye when the curious specimens gathered here. Each welcomes your attention, regardless of his act or deformity.
And on those mornings,
pounds of sheer
when the
performance
circus will be coming in,
a scene far
I rush
surpassing
madly through my
the
paper
poet's
route,
most fitful
playing the news
dream.
wherever it would go, cycling through the cool and thrilling darkness that comes just before the break of day.
When I went to the circus, as pitched on the waste lot, it was full of uneasy people, frightened by the bare earth and the temporary canvas, and the smells of horses and other beasts, instead of merely the smell of man.
You bangy savages with mouths as large as those of full-grown crocodiles, produce managers with heads of wild lettuce.
In no time, I reached the dingy, grimy, rickety old depot and walked rapidly across the station yard tracks, where I could see great flares and steaming engines and hear the crash and bump of the shifting cars, bells, and steel on steel rolling. Add to all these familiar sounds, to all the sharp and thrilling odors of the trains, the smell of cinders,
senator who lives
acrid
exclusively
smoke,
on hot air
musty, rusty freight cars,
grilled to the
clean pine boards,
sealed forever in
British
a
fruit,
fruit of glory.
produce, oranges, coffee, tangerines, bacon, ham, flour, beef. To all this was added the magic and unforgettable smells and sounds of the coming circus.
See diminutive children in department stores staging conniption fits for the passers-by. See Uncle Leo 5 hours at the card table, destitute of even a single hair, smoking no less than 3 enormous stinking cigars. See the quiz show contestants win enormous ceramic Dalmatians. See the ring of protesters circling the test site round and round. From the Mazeppa of old mythology, the war chariot of Egyptian gods.
All around, the sounds of the unloading circus would go on furiously in the darkness. The receding gulf of lilac and departing night would be filled with the savage roar of the lions, the murderously sudden snarling of great jungle cats, the trumpeting of elephants, the stamp of horses, the tawny camel smells, the smells of panthers, tigers, and bears.
And then the geese would scuttle in, and around the ring they'd go to the sound of the whip, doubling back with a funny up-flutter of rings, and oh, how the children, they'd shout out. And then came the hush, like a hush of fear.
Happiness is loud, abandoned sounds, round and round and round the ball sounds. My house,
forgot. It takes a sky blue juggler with 5 red balls to shake our gravity up. We in the air. The balls roll around, wheel on his wheeling hands, learning the ways of lightness, altered to spheres, grazing his finger ends, cling to their courses there, swinging a small heaven about his ears. But heaven is easier made of nothing at all than the earth regained. And still, and so within the spin of world, with a gesture sure noble, he reels that heaven in, landing it ball by ball, and trades it a hull for a broom, a plate, a table. Oh, on his toe the table is turning, and a broom is bouncing on his nose, and on the tip of the broom the plate whirls. Damn, what a show, we cry. The boys stamp, and the girls shriek, and the drum booms. And all comes down, and he bows, and says goodbye. If the juggler is tired now, if the broom stands in the dust again, if the table starts to drop through daily dark again, and though the plate lies flat on the table for him, we batter our hands. The juggler who has won for once over the world's weight.
Along the tracks, beside the circus trains, there would be the sharp cries and oaths of the circus men, the magical swinging dance of lanterns, the sudden heavy rumble of the wagons as they were pulled off the flat gondolas. Great iron gray horses, 4 and 6 to a team, would be plodding along the road of thick white dust to a rattling of chains and harnesses and the harsh cries of the drivers. As the first light came, one could see the elephants wallowing in the river, and big horses going down slowly and carefully to drink the town's water.
Circus time! A big work board, a slide, a merry-go-round in the shuffle, a ruffle of motion in the red and blue flannel of a clown suit. The colors of someone's old high school gone deep purple from mixed emotion. Circus came to town one day. I heard one of the jugglers say, the music is the soul in me, his eyes a fireball burn. I walked through the puddles in back of the striped tent. My ears heard a collection of wandering rhyme. The sweet, strong fingerpick strum of a steel string guitar. I saw my feet on all that grass, the shadows thick, the half-gone moon, patterns by the wayside, potions in the air. The face of an elderly woman, the small child in her arms, the staining red cheeks, and just a sparkle in the eye.
Tightrope lady, pink and blonde, nude-looking with a few gold spangles, footed cautiously out on the rope, turned prettily, spun around, bowed, lifted her foot in her hand, smiled, swung her parasol, tripped around to another pose, poised herself, then slowly sank down on her splendid thighs until she slept her splendid body on the rope. And when she rose, tilting her parasol, smiling at the cautious people, they cheered and cheered and cheered. But theirs was a nervous cheer.
I traveled to Cambridge to hear poets recite their own circle. In halls, I listened to words turning circus below. Hawkman 8 paces and animated screams, salivating suicide, excruciating elegy stands on his head, burying men. But only when I look. Curiosity of sideshow freakery fades like the Barker's matinee chant, like the beauty, the grotesque, like the sticky, sweet smell of spring. A high wire acrobat picks at the line with his toes, executing Greek turns netless. Each move starts the graceful, antic fall I was afraid to imagine. Arms signing helpless, gasp shrinking back from the dull thud of a body breaking the crash of a festival fantasy. Yet he steps slowly, carefully, and doesn't lose hold. He ends up grasping a green pole. He smiles, nervously reading who's suffering on the golden silk, who's dying. Strange the fox is here. But the fox is no oddity, exotic only in its trails of escape. I listen, unaware of me. He bursts along the paths he weaves in this cage, escaping into alleys, twisting. On the bank of the cam, tension passes. I sleep. The child on his shoulder, the sun is in rings above my head. Circus parading in my mind, clowns. Calliope sounds, popcorn, candy like the sticky, sweet smell of spring.
In an immense cleared space of dusty beaten earth, the stakes were being driven for the main exhibition tent. An elephant lurched ponderously forward into a field, slowly lowering its great swinging head at the command of a man who sat perched upon his skull. It flourished its great wrinkled snout and then solemnly wrapped it around a tent pole as big as the mast of a racing schooner. Then the elephant backed slowly away, dragging the great pole with him as if it were a stick of matchwood. Two old black men who had watched the elephant's performance with bulging eyes turned to each other with wide grins, bent double over as they slapped their knees and howled with rich black laughter, saying to each other in a kind of rhythmical chorus of question and reply.
He don't play with it, do he?
No, sir, he don't send no boy.
He don't say, wait a minute, do he?
No, sir, he said, come with me, that's what he said.
He go boogity, 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 boogity.
He go rootin' for it.
He say, ah, loose.
Yes, sir, he said, big boy, we's on our way. Poster, poster on the wall. Which is the ugliest of all? Mongolian, Cockney, or Hottentot? Hooligan, Hussar, or Pomeranian? But they look like apes, said Horseface to Turkey. Here comes the king in his gilded cage, the queen decked out in spades, the cardinal with his flying cape, the high mucky-muck of the Masons, Habsburgs, Hohenzollerns, shenanigans and Philpots, dancing with the Huguenots, la-di-das, turnip seeds, pompadours, and tetrazinis, paper bull in Piccadilly Circus.
I've never been in no circus. I've never been in no cavalry. I spend my time improving my mind. Men can't be too careful about his education. It's like Tuyle once said, man who walks through the forest without he know the names of the trees therein, like a man in a museum would have the picture turned to the wall. Now I want my pictures to be turned to the front. And that's why I live in the company of books. Through the teachings of your pain, Jane. I have learned the ways of Ethiopian hockey and the teachings of Descartes are at my fingertip. I now consider myself to be a learned man. And I've come tonight to share with you some of the fruits of my scholarly pursuits. It is writ that in the land of Asian subcontinent live lots of Danta elephants, almost heaven's beast, with a long muscular snout, very lengthy, weighing thousands of pounds, standing many feet high. But despite the enormity of this creature, he can't be trained for any labor or funny stunts, like lifting great logs by cutting his nose, staying on one foot on the rubber ball. Now at first I doubted, like any sane man, the existence of this unlikely practicality. But my extensive research has verified the truth, and that's the great beauty of scholarship.
The elephants, huge and gray, loomed their curved bulk through the dust, and sat up, taking strange postures, showing the pink soles of their feet, and curling their precious live trunks like ammonites, and moving slowly with soft precision like great ships that go to anchor. And all the while, the people watched and wondered and seemed to resent the mystery that lies within the beast.
I'm the balloon lady, hopping through life, and the colors change to catch the light. Whisper, stop my pop explosions in the wind. Some days are red, like burning desire. Go on too, like balloons. Yellow. Some days are yellow, like wild afternoons. I'm the lady with the balloon, popping my way through life. I do like to look at you. There's no need to cross-examine each one before it goes. I'm alone with a lust for life. At times, sometimes, I slice it with a knife. 1, 2, 3. Let's run out or join the sea. I need chicken soup, new room, and eyes open wide to count my fingertips. They are not blue. I live in a blue world. Blue, yellow, red, huffing and puffing, blowing each one up, huffing and puffing my way through. And each day, the sun gets hotter. One balloon pops, I pick another color. Blue, gold, and red like the fading sun, which does not return till my eyes are too tired to open wide. I live in a balloon world. Puffing and puffing and blowing each one up. And the colors fade to catch the light. Tonight, I am orange, like a fruit tree, are the lines dividing the road. You know, today started out to be green. I said that wouldn't do. Popped it, picked another. White, neutral and calm.
depot there. Huddled up, oboe clowns.
Oboe clown.
Round an oil drum smoking fire. Hands out. No town heroes wasted. Gray faces frozen in the twilight stratosphere. I say, hey you, see! All my halo buddies, with their wine dark ginger fingers, lost in the purple haze, missing from the action, missing man, dark and dead, fighting cool out forever. And for who? Me and you? Me and you two? Me and you 200? Me and you 230 million who's who do shine from sea to sea in our nation of stars and striped heroes. Wigs for sale! Got some wigs for sale! Buy one wig, get another wig free. Clown wigs, cock wigs, parade wigs, baby wigs, daddy wigs, mama wigs. Keep your face full of candy wigs, dog wigs, thin wigs, bald wigs, wigs with the noses there, wigs without them, wigs for the chin, snap the whip on the tiger's wigs, jump through the flaming hoop wigs, wigs that got the star and stripe glitter on each tip of each hair. Wigs for sale, got some wigs for sale. Circus chapter. Circus chapter. Going through the circus chapter. Oh, move with the crowd, move with the crowd, push the crowd around, move with the crowd. Circus chapter. Take your torn up ticket and sit down. Crush the peanuts under your feet, first rows. Catch the arm of your sweetheart, dear. Relax. Get comfortable. Put your wig on. Fast first coat finished. Good and plenty gone. Done noticing. Done feeling anything. And then, at the top of the tent, a trapeze artist flops this way, flops that way. Pale arms to the left, pale arms to the right. A gliding half circle, stretching and flopping, while the shadows below. While the shadows down below. Slate gray shadows, shouldering slate gray shadows. Silhouettes, all the same, rubber stamped shadows, row upon row upon row, follow with no emotion at all. The elliptical searching spotlight as it exposes the facial blood flow from an artist dangling through the dying air. And somewhere, positioned on a platform ever so small, a miracle white, blue, black, tan, gray, green. A miracle that really wigged out, far out, gone character focuses his gun sight, circled bullseye, and each one of those streetlight, spotlight beauties, and pow, pow! Holy Moses, cries the one-man band, crashing the cymbals to get out of the way. Pow, pow! The old bag lady looking for the pop bottle grabs a 10-cent piece of glass, stuffs it in her bag. Pow, pow! The raindrops assemble and slide down the canvas. The downtrodden and the heartbroken open their umbrellas. The tramped upon haul themselves up out of the mud. Pow, pow! The balloon lady pops another balloon. The juggler fiddles with his Indian pins. The clowns tumble into each other. Pow, pow! The princess on the horse. Pow! The tattoo man. Pow! The elephant trainer. Pow! The dolly with all those feathers plumed up above her head. Pow! 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 They all fall down, row upon row upon row, while the shadows just stare. That's the end of the first act. Suspended by the knees. Bristles on my fingertips. A red sable brush in my mouth. An artist at the edge of an ever-changing universe, marking each lap of his dangling gyration it enough to be just part of the arena? A clown, a father, a popcorn go-getter, a patient grandmother, a tattoo man, the trainer of bulky gray elephants, swaying this way and that, moving to the shadows of every man's town. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's my extreme pleasure to present to you the analytical manifestation of 1,000,000 unrelated dreams. From 100 isolated towns, under 1 billion trillion dazzling stars, a universe grinning like an enormous pockmarked face, a shadow at the street corner. Ladies and gentlemen, before we line you up for your nightmare march through our painted panoramic arena, let's ask, are there any requests? Are there any last requests before the lights go dim and the whistling steam begins to play? Make a request. Request that the artist fly without a net and never miss the bar. Or maybe this, depending on your seat, the price of your clothes, the position you hold in regard to truth and beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, watch as the next performer takes the scaffold. The ringmaster cracks his whip. Calliope steams. The black and blue red-faced clown hails a laugh. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
does sweat now gathering in your armpits originate? In your fear of such a beast? In your attraction to its loathsome charm, a mystery, a person, or thing? A warm, lonesome, moving, expressionless pulse, asking nothing, going on with its incessant beating until the lights are all the way out and the paper masks are torn off with a theatrical flourish, revealing the smiling faces of friends, or at least acquaintances.
Smile turned upside down. He's got a hat, a floppy felt. Baggy pants without a belt. When he walks, he rattles and rings, and this fender snap in the song he sings makes me laugh. My father dresses up like a clown. The black and white smile turned upside down. We don't work for the circus no more. We put that life behind us. Rolling in sawdust in Akron is fine for some, but not this clown. Acrobats, elephants, and chimpanzees. You know, I used to know one that was smarter than you. And it's no place to raise a family either. There's so many bad influences. You've got animal trainers and local girls. You know, getting in that car was no fun either, you know. Remember Twinkle? We got a job designing nuclear reactors in Russia. He used to fart halfway around the ring. That's why we came tumbling out the way we did. We don't work for the circus no more. We put that life behind us. Pop opens car washes. Does malls on the weekends. And Reagan asked him and his friends to be part-time air traffic controllers. I've got a nice old place in Bucktown. I'm watching cable TV. I'm gonna be a millionaire with no money down. And I'm rehabbing. Do you know we have oak floors? No, hum a few bars and I'll fake it. We don't work for the circus no more. Too many monkeys. Too many birds. Too many animal acts. Too many turds. Too many tourist towns. Too many merry-go-rounds. Too many green young faces waiting for a fall. Too many roustabouts. Too many top hat towns. Too many freaks and geeks. Too many painted cheeks. Too many lawless ways. Too many payless days. Too many southern sheriffs paying us a call. We don't work for the circus at all. But I'll miss the lizard lady, and I'll miss the crowd. I'll miss the still walkers. Yeah, and I'll miss the lizard lady. There you go with that scaly bitch again. Hey, really, she was nothing to me.
We are all images. Images. Images.
Last tower.
Of another life.
Raised
Of another time.
Green.
We are all images. 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 Lighting lights. Lighting circles. We are all images. 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 Ever-changing circles. We are all images. 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 Chasing time waves. Asleep in our dreams.
I hear the touch of your
And
reality.
touching mounts.
More
Time
than
passes.
I could ever see.
In and out. In and out.
I hear
In and
your
out.
stillness.
In and out.
Feel your
Ice
heartbeat.
form. Singing
Oh,
dance in
your
the brain.
inmost
We are
soul.
all images. Images. Images.
I got our grandchildren.
We are all images. 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 Of another life. Sometimes we collide.
The music of the skater's waltz plays a few bars in the dark, and now, see, if you will, turn to your left, arising from its coffin, smelling of the earth from which it has been removed, a skeleton of giant proportions, juggling with a preconceived steadiness, two striped Indian clubs painted with an iridescent glow. You know who he is, of course. Skeleton of the community, a rather comic but friendly figure. The sort of outsider well known to every neighborhood who does babysitting for single parents and hands out candy to children in the park if the police don't see. He has spent most of his life in a mental institution because he was illegitimate. His mother never married, and for that oversight, he is paid with his childhood and given his wet diapers and upset stomachs along with his nightmares and his first masturbations to the authorities for safekeeping until he becomes legitimized, legalized, reborn. And indeed, it may happen here if death precedes rebirth. While we watch the skeleton juggling, we can hear its baby dreams cry to the moldy coffin and see, as if in a crystal ball, its cryptic past. A garden of weeds somber under the black sky, and the authorities neatly grinning, their own skeletons safe from harm. Their own dreams rounded like full plums on the safety of their omnipotence. Without his suit, the skeleton was a puny figure. Shambling through the melancholy streets of town, carrying his oranges and tea bags in a bright net sack, he is insignificant to the bone. He has lost himself and exists in a margin world until he can next become the center of our attraction here. The glowing bones strung together by a purple light, irradiating magnificence. But if the authorities are here in the audience, and remember, authorities are everywhere, they will perhaps be suspicious of something, the way he tilts his head and the tenderness of his touch as he puts the clubs away in their box after the performance. Or he has the exaggerated regularity of someone who struggles to conceal his dangerous eccentricity.
I'm the authority. I know everything. Écoutez les enfants. Répétez après moi. Ce ne pourrait jamais arriver ici. Répétez. Ça. Nous. Pourrait. 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 La bouche. Pourrait. Jamais. Arriver. Ici. Bon. Non. Bon. Monsieur, voici votre papier. Et je suis surpris que vous ayez si bien fait. Mon père. What is it? What do you want? Huh? Regardez ça. Oh, it's your history test. 100%. What'd you do? Cheat? You Republican. You sand rat. cowardly fool. You senile old man. Allah shall topple your imperial fortress. You mad dog of the Middle East. You Zionist Yankee Doodle. You Benghazi Berber barbarian. Your blood shall float on the salty waters if you cross the line of death. Hey, I want to know one thing. The way you dress, I can't tell if you're in the Army, Navy, or Mission Impossible. You killer of babies. You. I feel confident that with our renewed faith in the family and in God, Yahweh, call him what you want, that our nation will once again prosper and become the mightiest nation in the world. In God, we trust.
As beloved as the divine lagoon. The sight of her will wear your patient skin until the first delicate note is struck and we can sigh with a grand release and begin to hope again and believe that all is not yet lost if this archangel is among us. More I cannot promise you. I have brought her here, arranged everything for your entertainment. Will now sit in the dark corner behind the stage and listen, happy in my efforts, my managerial abilities. It is not my fault if the event brings pain. Your pain or even the pain of the performer. My job is the arranging of the event. Slender, isn't she?
Please, let this note sail on wing
Chest! With a silvery gown.
Please, like a plump yellow beast, let this note sail on wing.
Bought for the occasion.
Let it burn its bright witch.
So now, especially.
In the center of their brain.
Especially for you, whom she does not despise, or at least not very much.
Now, there are men and there are men.
You could feel it in the dark if she despised you.
But if I ask you, if you came this evening to tell the difference.
And the dark is full only of music, mimosas, burgundy under the stars.
Or to watch my skin snow onto the stage.
How sick we are of the stink of beer and greasy chips, how our senses curl up in the ever-present gray mist of despair.
What would you tell me? That you have a jacket that still itches from last night's fleas? That your life is a nag strapped into blinders? That you would kill any man that could fool you again?
Let us speak of our performer and his daring. Daring to be your victim. Rising above us like a moon, filling the stage with the brilliance of an opera.
Well, here you see her. My voice will sway onto each note and then impale. I'll do my toilette before your face. Then you too may count each rib being pinched in like accordions. You too may watch my face shaven white beneath the makeup. Feel my falsetto rise from my corset. Count the soft beating of my lips, like lost lovers, glued to stanzas. Like struck, sore teeth that make you rise out of your chair.
When he departs, the emptiness you feel will be a real emptiness. Like that of remembered grief or new knowledge.
That leave you wandering through another fleshless night.
Is gossamer daring, hanging by the thread of your own respectability, will be remarked by all those whose soul is not prune dry, by all whose dream still casts its shadow as they pass.
No, gentlemen, and are there ladies out there?
But some of you seem to think I put the case too strongly.
You stay right where you are.
I give too much credit.
You will not stray.
To wear a gown.
From this occasion.
And to sing a song.
Before you feel my reverberation.
Is no great risk.
Upon your spruzzo.
And yet.
Before you feel my vibrato slide down your cane.
Such a thing can bring death. A red corona, a blood wedding. For some.
I am just a man.
The crime may be too deep.
But what if I am not?
Ah, yes, I see you, the audience. Reckless, yet calm, wary, yet immobile. You pray the song will end on enough beat. Is your mouth as dry as your life? Is your future born of your careful past? Laid out, inevitable, free.
I see you are all filled with red liquid. Maestro, are you ready? Some of us say life's a bit like that. Can I help?
Sorry, folks. We're not too good at sound systems.
Bunch of clowns working this thing.
This was supposed to happen right after marriage.
At any rate, perhaps this is an example of what our subject is. For 1 year in Paris, the Tyrellists dreamed that dreaming was the key to all our lives. And they dreamed that their dream was a sort of revolution against the more mundane sort of dream. But the dream of 1920 only lasted 1 year. Soon they were dreaming of 1921, 22, 23. Bang up your lazy bones! The storm bed won't last forever. Tristan Tzara, Apollinaire, Alfred Young, Man Ray, they are all dreaming in the fleshless night. They are wearing their ghost suits, this time forever. All the audiences of that generation. I myself am a realist. I know that one morning in the not distant future, Paris will awaken to no more Paris. There's the music. Turn that thing on. The show isn't over. You're spoiling the illusion. Come on now. What is this? This is 2 times in 1 night. All right, that's better. Meine Damen und Herren, Uptight, the word is Sheehan. Spilling to me of the business world, making lots of lovely money. Spending that money to make some more. Or you could be making lots of lovely love. Now your clothes be holding up, leaving them on a chair, listening to the water in the bathroom. Now bathing someone special something, especially for you. Or you could, by a real lake, now be sitting, the actual moon reflecting, and listening to the hiss of the wind in your hair. You could know what it is to be the wind, to be the grass guard passing. My legions, they must find a road back to the world, without insistence on a thing to amuse. This is a big project. It probably won't succeed. It's only just some poems read from out of a book. We must dig out stimulation wherever we may find it, without Liza's nibbles to point the way. We must get those insects in our brains that make some other people move, stand up and dance for us tonight. Already I can feel the insects stirring, the bubbling to the surface of a paper flower that might unfold. Now has come time for something else.
That's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me put makeup in your eye and affix the solution. The poet laureate of Gary, Indiana, John Sheehan. The author of Brown Cafe, Dave Cooper. Our balloon lady and the 430 poet, Nancy Oparka. The juggler and a mainstay at Me High.Poetry Night, Mike Barrett. The proprietor of Ash Street Gallery, Mary Jo Marchnight. The Van Tile Clown, the Tattoo Queen, Jean Howard. The man of many faces from Milwaukee. Milwaukee's man of many faces, Gillette. Performing Poetry Chicago. Thanks, everybody.